Very good morning, everybody, for Saturday, the 16th of April. Well, looks like a few of you had a reasonable day out yesterday. While standing on the Cotswold edge, I did see a couple of ASG29s fly past out of Lasham. So, yeah, Cumulus was a lot better out here. But yeah, I hear it was quite blue in the south. That theme is likely to remain, at least locally, in the vicinity of Lasham today. We've got this area of sort of frontal activity just over the west coast of Wales, which is bringing with it some extra bit of cloud. It is bringing some instability as well, which means there will be cumulus again in the Cotswolds and maybe towards Oxfordshire. But once again, we are slightly blue in the south, and we have now started to pick up a easterly component in that wind. As we go through into tomorrow, it's looking, if this was to update, that it's going to be a bit more southerly and blue tomorrow. So make the most of today, because tomorrow I think is going to be slightly weaker. Those easterly winds, as we can see here, have a little bit of south in them, but generally looking at 15 knots in the region. And that's generally consistent across most of the country. So 15 knots from east-southeast. You can see that upper level cloud, which is certainly here in the Cotswolds, but that's sort of keeping on a line just to the northwest of Lasham. Isn't due to make its way too far inland than where it is now, but underneath that should be where some of the cumulus hopefully will start off. Some mist and fog patches looking like they're in sort of the East London area. But yeah, a reasonable start with that upper level cloud. The public forecast at Lasham showing that east-southeasterly wind, a top temperature of 18 degrees today. Reasonable visibility, though not to start with, and nothing much more than that, no significant weather. That's generally reflected in the GFS as well, which is showing 17 to 18 degrees. And looking at the dew points, again hovering around 10, so very similar figures to yesterday. Odium are currently reporting easterly winds, no cloud detected and 11 degrees. Farnborough, which have just opened, says a few clouds at 4,500 feet, and that's about it. So they're predicting it should get all right. Let's just have a look in Verizon Norton. Again, few cloud, 4,500 feet. Same at Oxford. Let's see if what Gatwick says. Gatwick says Cav okay. So yeah, it does seem that much south of Lasham is likely to be blue, and Lasham itself may well be blue for some parts of the day. Let's have a look at the forecast then. Well, for an 18-metre glider, that's the task distance that you can expect. Once again, good north of the Salisbury Plain training area and up into Oxfordshire and potentially up towards Husbands Bosworth. But out to the east and near coasts are pretty rubbish, if I'm honest. And this may well, this area here, just to the south of Gatwick, may well be not quite as good, depending on the strength of that easterly wind. It starts at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and you can see it's not going to be an early start. It's probably going to be at least 12:30, 1 o'clock before there's any reasonable chance of blue to shallow Q. At Lasham, that looks like it should be blue to shallow Q by about 1 o'clock, up to 3,000 to 3,500 feet. Some Q moving in, probably 4,500 feet from about half 1, 2, 3. And that line of Q, unlike yesterday, looks like it will stay to the north and northwest of Lasham. I understand that most of the Q yesterday initially popped in the Farnborough zone, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, reasonable, nothing completely booming, but reasonable out towards Bryce, up into Oxford. But yeah, not wanting to go too far east or south today, with that in mind. As we come through towards the end of the day, by about sort of 4 to 5 o'clock, we're starting to see the day deteriorate. Not seeing so much of that sea air, hopefully coming in towards Lasham. This is 6 o'clock, and because of the land track that the air is taking, Lasham may remain soarable, at least to the north, but much south it'll be completely dead by about 4:30. So yeah, worth keeping that in mind. Cloud amounts today, as you can see here, the queue starting off in the west and north and sort of sitting out there until the evening with bits of high-level clouds. Now, interestingly, this does not show as much high-level cloud as I can see out there at the moment, so we'll keep that in mind. And it does show there is some chance of spread out, but hopefully that is being slightly pessimistic, as top meteo has been so far this year. Location forecast at Lasham, so getting going at about 12:30, 1 o'clock. 2 knots, 3 knot thermals, and yeah, peaking at 4,500 feet today with that easterly wind. And trigger temperature, looking at that, of around 18 degrees to get really good conditions. NOTAM wise, so winching at Middle Wallet, please be aware Little Rissington is active at weekends and on bank holidays actually. So if you're tasking through that area, ATZ is active. It's not active when it's a regular working weekday, unless it's NOTAM. 10, 11, 12, 13 are just the danger areas lowered. So yeah, Imber is lowered to 3,000 feet, and some of the other ones are as well. Lark Hill lowered to 3,000 feet. Probably not much use today, but if you are going in the area, just check the NOTAMs again. Probably going to be a nice busy day again for GA activity. Keep your head out of the cockpit, because it has been noticeably busier this weekend as people get back into the powered aircraft and the like. Operationally, it is Merv running the airfield, as I can't teleport from the Cotswolds to Lasham that quickly. The setup, I would imagine, looking at that wind, would be 09. If there is enough of you to grid on 09, may I remind you that you've got obstructions towards the east in the form of trees. So make sure the grid is behind, at least definitely behind the fuel pumps, in line with the first set of Arcus hangars that are on the northwestern side of the airfield. We need to make sure you have enough takeoff performance. And if you are going heavy to launch today, do consider launching from the runway, because we don't want any close shades of those trees. And the tug pilots will be briefed, I'm sure, appropriately to give you a safe margin to avoid the obstruction. So yeah, keep that in mind. 09 in use. Winching will be on the south side with the winch offset slightly to the south. It looks like it should be a reasonable day. Enjoy, and I will see you tomorrow on Easter Sunday.